are accused of having an inappropriate relationship with a woman beginning when she was a teenager.
And police in Abington just placed an officer on leave, sources say, in connection with this case. WBZ's Beth Germano shows us how the Stoughton police chief is trying to keep those officers from ever working again.
I stand before you today as a civil servant who is heartbroken.
Stoughton Police Chief Donna McNamara vowing transparency as she details how 3 officers are accused of abusing their positions of authority to carry out an inappropriate sexual relationship with a young woman for several years.
Through a sustained and deliberate combination of lies, deceit, and treachery.
The now former officers are William Farwell, pictured here, and his brother Matthew, who they say first met the young woman when she was 13 in a Police Explorers program. Also accused, former Deputy Chief Robert Devine, all allegedly preying upon a vulnerable teen who looked up to officers.
The admiration led her to form relationships with men who were willing to take advantage of her.
At age 27, investigators say Matthew Farwell began the relationship with the young woman who was then 15. Texts and explicit exchanges were shared while on duty. Investigators say when he broke off the relationship in February of 2021 when she was 23, she died days later. The medical examiner determining it was suicide and she was pregnant.
These men violated their oaths and they are unfit to serve as police officers.
The district attorney says without victim testimony, charges are unlikely, saying in a statement, the investigation to date has not developed a prosecutable statutory rape case against any individual. But the chief makes clear what the investigation has developed.
The scope of this problem in our agency has been identified and pulled out by the roots.
The chief has moved to have the officers immediately decertified so they never serve in another department. In Stoughton, I'm Beth Germano, WBZ
What I'm about to
News.
brief you on is something deeply troubling to me as a human being and as a police chief.
Three former Stoughton police officers, the focus of a 19-month-long internal affairs investigation for allegedly having an inappropriate relationship with a young woman who was later found dead inside her home.
Sandra Birchmore's body was found on February 4th, 2021. Her death ruled a suicide. But was it? Given the circumstances of her final night and what we know about the last person to see her alive, leave many to have doubt.
The fact of the matter is, it just doesn't make any sense to me that she would kill herself, and especially knowing she's pregnant. Sandra wouldn't kill her baby.
This is The Case, Season 2, Sandra. Episode 1 drops November 29th.
What we found was a historical pattern. The officers with levels of supervision over it were using it as a means of having relationships with teenage girls.
The Case is available on Apple Podcasts and wherever podcasts can be heard. You can also find us at thecasepodcast.com and on Twitter at thecasepodcast.
So many people should have protected her and they didn't. And she expected these men to, and one after another just let her down and ruined her.
Welcome to Young Jerks. Mike Crawford tonight. We're hoping to have a special guest to talk about justice for Sandra Birchmore, Melissa Berry, but unfortunately she's not feeling well tonight, so we may have to reschedule that. But I definitely did want to talk about it tonight because we've hinted about it. We talked about it in the past a little bit. I think we were actually probably the first show to ever actually bring up the case. One of our guests did way back from the Workers' Party. That's who it was. It was a Workers' Party candidate. Brought it up probably a year and a half. Last election cycle, whenever that was. But there's been a lot of coverage and organizing since then that we haven't really been a part of, but we've been watching, we've been interested. I've been interested in it, wanted to discuss it tonight, but unfortunately, Melissa Berry won't be able to be here. But we're going to talk a little bit about it. Justice for Sandra Birchmore is the group. That's her group. Definitely check it out. 4,000 members. I hope people join it on Facebook tonight if you have interest in this. I also included video from obviously WBZ TV when they reported on it, but as well as Barstool Sports, Kirk Minihane, The Case. If you haven't listened to that, if you want to know all about Sandra Birchmore, that's the first place you should start. Is just listen to that podcast. Their new series, they have a different, seasons of it. It's the Sandra season. Check that out. The Case on Apple, iTunes, everywhere else you can find. Very well done. We played a little bit the trailer for that tonight to give you a taste of it. For people that don't know, I think most people in Massachusetts at this point do know about this case, but we wanted to bring it up because it happened in Canton, obviously, but also just due to the fact that it's this police misconduct and nobody. That was a year ago that Minihane put out that podcast, and it should have really kind of changed the world. It definitely got a lot of listeners. But not a lot has changed. So, I mean, they did break some news in that with that series, but I think it needs to be talked about more. And I think people get it just from that little introduction. Sandra was groomed in a police explorers program in high school as a 15-year-old by police officers. And we may even play the video tonight. There was a video that they found the last day before Sandra allegedly committed suicide, with the police officer, her boyfriend, entering and leaving the apartment. And he's an anti-masker. He's someone that doesn't believe in masks. And on that day, on the surveillance camera getting into the elevator, we'll play that a little bit later, he had a mask on. Like he was trying to hide his identity from the camera. So I think this needs to be looked into much more than it has. Obviously, I'm really surprised that no one's been charged at this point. I know they're going to say statute of limitations, but it's very interesting too, because this could have something to do with the federal grand jury that Turtle Boy talks about, and that was definitely convened, that took some of the other witnesses from Canton. It could be that grand jury was started with Sandra Birchmore. We have no idea, but it's very possible. But a couple things I wanted to, again, tonight, I want to make sure that people know, since we don't have a guest, we're going to take a lot of phone calls. Going to have open phone lines in a little bit, so stick around for that. I also want to thank everyone, and I also want to make sure that you're aware tonight that we're going to be doing a lot of other coverage too, especially on Canton Confidential. What's going on in Canton? There's so much going on in Canton around Turtle Boy, as well as Free Karen Reed and protests and websites and Facebooks and special town meetings. And tomorrow night, we're going to get into it all tonight. All of it. And anything you want to talk about too. It's kind of a freeform night, that now that the guest hasn't been able to make it, we have a little more space. But again, this is Sandra Birchmore. She was in the Explorer program. It's tough to even talk about. Again, this is the Kirk Minihane, The Case, on iTunes, Spotify. I would definitely check it out if you wanted to know a lot more about Sandra Birchmore and what happened. I want to thank everyone for donating to the show. It's funny because we get some trolls attacking us about collecting donations. I don't even know if I should comment on it, but I'm really happy about it because we're raising money for two good causes, which is Karen Reed Defense Fund and the Turtle Boy Defense Fund. And both of them, we just made donations, $195 each to them Friday night. It's been a couple weeks, I think. It's been, I try to get it done. Like at first I was trying to do it every show, but I'm so busy lately. It's hard to keep up with anything. But that was our latest batch of shows. We might have done 4. I've been trying to say 1 show a week, but I end up doing 2, sometimes 3. And my life is really crazy. That's the biggest thing for me right now is time and energy. Do I have enough? I'm getting old. There's only so much of me. But it was really exciting to drop in more money. That was at least our second donation to the Turtle Boy Defense Fund. And I say we. It's not even my donation. It's your donation. It's the listeners. It's, I'd say, our work together, because obviously I am doing some work in the show, putting things together, slideshows, booking guests, and trying to have a good show for you, and keep it to a certain level of information and not just regurgitating what other people have done. So there is that part where I'm actually contributing, but mostly it's you. You've been throwing down money, and $195 last donation on Friday night to the Justice for Karen Reed Defense Fund. And we also made the same donation to the Turtle Boy Defense Fund. So I'm really happy about that. We're doing that again. If anyone wants to donate, 50% of all donations tonight on the Cash App and Venmo go to the Karen Reed and the Turtle Boy Defense Fund, 25% each. So 50%. So total, the other 50% goes to our show, helping our show cover some of the costs, $50 a month for StreamYard, as well as the costs that we have for a liability insurance. I want to thank everyone who's been supporting, following, listening to the show, especially donating to the defense funds, and even outside. There's also ways, if you know, of course, if you don't want 50% of your money to go to us tonight, you could just as easily go directly to those defense funds, and I'll be just as I'll be even happier. Do it that way too. FreeKarenReed.net is the defense fund for her, and there's also one right on the Turtle Boy website. You can find TB Daily News. You can find it on his Twitter too, pinned at the top of his Twitter. So you can also donate directly to them. Tonight, too, I definitely want to talk about this guy. It's just kind of the double standards going on, because I keep saying, like, maybe we should, since Helena Rafferty, the chief of police, said they have to investigate any criminal complaint that comes their way. This seems like a crime right here that was caught on camera the other day. The goon, the delivery, I guess he's the delivery guy for the pizza shop that the selectman owns. The selectman that is a deadbeat that can't pay his pepperoni man. He's got this guy, Jim Farris. Some people call him rude. He's rude Jim Farris. Jimmy Farris, just yesterday, there was a little protest outside the pizza shop, and caught on video is Jim Farris littering, taking a cigarette and just throwing it, tossing it on the ground. And the police are there to tell the protesters that they're breaking the law, but they don't cite this guy, who I guarantee you every single day does that 10 times a day while he's there. He sits on that stoop. If we go over there tonight, I guarantee we'll find like 10 of his cigarettes on the ground. They're not citing him. They're not giving him any fine. It's caught on video now, too. I think somebody needs to file some complaints against these folks. So there's rude Jim Farris. Maybe we'll play that video tonight. That was fun. And again, here's Turtle Boy. We had to put this one up tonight. This is his mugshot for when he was arrested. This is the hottest ass mugshot I've ever seen in my life. I have, like, you look at Whitey Bulger, like Whitey Bulger's got a good mugshot. Like, this is actually a better mugshot than Whitey Bulger. It's very serious. Most of these guys, I don't know. He looks, I am scared looking at his eyes right there. Oh man. Definitely going to talk about Canton Confidential tonight. Rest in peace. Is it rest in peace for Canton Confidential? For those who don't know, there's been a board, a Facebook group. It's getting crazy in Canton. So much stuff has been happening. I'm looking at comments too. I'm wondering if I should post some comments right now. But what I want to do right now is just talk about Canton Confidential, I guess. You know, basically that's the Facebook group that has been kind of leading the discussion in Canton about what's been going on with the police department, with the special town meeting, with collecting signatures, with what's going on at the select board meetings, pretty much everything in town. If you really want to know what's going on, you go to Canton Confidential, their Facebook group. And it's been run by basically three people, two of them that we see all the time, which is the moderator, the two, John Como is number one. We all know John Como. He's one of the brother Como. He's been on the show. And there's also his brother, George, who's kind of like the silent partner over there. And you don't see him too much. He came on the show. He talked on our show. But beyond that, you haven't seen him, that much over the last months in that group. But he's actually the admin. He actually runs and controls the group. And the other day, he just decided out of the blue, apparently, that he was going to close it down until the special town meeting is over in November at the November 20th. So he's basically going to shut down the group. He's going to black it out for the next, I don't know, whatever, 10, 15 days until the special town meeting is done. And this came after, apparently, he ran into John Connolly and Mr. Theodore, apparently, at the Top Golf thing. And let's just post this here first. Microdots just posted this on Twitter. Microdots. And other people have posted it. Angela has also posted it. So George decides to put his group on pause. John and Angela have left the group, who are the main, people that everyone knew from Canton Confidential. And they've all noted that George has a item on the agenda. First on the agenda tomorrow at the select board meeting. It's right at 7 p.m. It's a proposed pavilion at Paul Revere Heritage Site. Now, this, like for me, I have a little experience in local or town politics in different towns. This is a conflict of interest. It's not like an awful conflict of interest. It's not like George is going to become a millionaire off of this project, I don't think. I think this project is probably something that's really good for the town. And it's something that George has been wanting to have happen. And he's been pushing it and promoting it and sponsoring it and, herding cats to get it done, which is a good thing. But now it comes at the expense of Canton Confidential. And that's what a lot of people think. And I think they're naturally inclined to be suspicious because of George's actions, what George has put out. George hasn't addressed the conflict at all. Even if it's not a real conflict, he just saying that people are throwing hate at him and people are throwing, lies at him, but he's not actually addressing the obvious conflict here that he wants this project to go through. And these select board members do want Canton Confidential shut down, especially before the special town meeting. And it does look like there was a deal. Anyone with and I don't think George is a bad person, but truth is truth. And George isn't addressing it. George is, talking about hate, and George has said some things too recently, just today about violence, that there's going to be violence if he doesn't shut Canton Confidential or that I don't know if he said that it was, if he didn't shut it down or regardless there will, but he's talking about violence. He said that there will be violence. I think that's hyperbolic. And if he does think there will be violence, I want to know why. Like we should hear more about that. You should just throw that out there. He should be specific. What's his sources? What does he think? Like, what does he mean? Or is it just the most obvious thing? Which is he's got a proposed pavilion before the select board that he's pushing. And he wants these guys to say yes to it. That's pretty obvious. That's pretty much an obvious conflict of interest. Because of that, because of all this, there's a new Facebook group, Canton Community Voices. I would definitely suggest people join that group tonight. If you haven't already, 2,300 members in like 2 days. It's like already half of what Canton Confidential is right now. So who's in there? Angela's in there. John's in there. Rita's in there. The people behind the town select meeting are in there. It's a good group. Join it. Canton Community Voices. It's a new group. Check it out. Now, John Como, the brother of George. See, I feel bad for both of them, George and John, but especially John. Because I don't think John is even talking to George at this point, and I think he's pretty aggravated. And obviously, he left his own group. He posted this in the Canton Community Voices, the new group. John Como posted this today, just a little while ago, like probably 15 minutes ago. John writes, there are citizens privately contacting other citizens to scare them by saying a no vote will cause your taxes to not be paid this quarter and double next quarter. He's talking about this special town meeting that's coming up on November 20th. So currently there's a campaign. People are now telling people that if you vote saying a no vote will cause your taxes to not be paid. I think he might have misspoken on that, but I know what he's talking about, though. They're basically saying that if you vote for this special town meeting, if you vote for an audit, if you vote for all of this, what Rita and her group are seeming to suggest, it's going to be a lot of issues with the town of Canton. It's going to make it worse. And then he goes on to say they are happy Canton Confidential went dark as they are now on a full court press to make sure people feel intimidated to go and have their voices heard. Most people have their taxes in escrow and their monthly mortgage. You will not be affected. I have heard today from 2 people contacted by a person who is a member of this. So the other side, the opposition, has shut down. They're basically effectively shut down Canton Confidential. They have sent threatening anonymous letters to residents. It seems like they started a criminal investigation of people gathering signatures. And now they're lying to fellow citizens and voters to scare them off from supporting the special town meeting. There he is, Chris Albert. Can't protest him. He's a victim witness. Even me talking about him, so I might make him feel uncomfortable. I could end up in jail. Like, this is the state of Massachusetts. I want to talk about this lawsuit too. This criminal thing against Turtle Boy. You saw us play the videos. I could play them again. I might even play some of those tonight. But I want to make my real speech on this. Real this whole thing, what they're doing to Turtle Boy. I feel personally it affects me because I had someone who's a law student, the son of Wendy Murphy, file the same exact charge against me, witness tampering against him in a criminal court. Now, fortunately for me, it seems like the magistrate or judge laughed it out of court. But they're not doing that to Aiden. They're not doing that to Turtle Boy. And that raises the risk that it's going to happen to me next and happen to all of you. The people who protested just yesterday, the people who protested in the past, anyone who's been supporting Karen Reed, anyone who's brought up Chris Albert's name in public. They're looking to go after all of us. And I think that they are looking to expand the conspiracy. I really do. I'm convinced of that at this point. And so it's so important we win this case. And I think we will. And I think the reason Aiden is going to win this case is for a couple of reasons. Number one is because of all of you, again, listening, watching, raising money, helping him with his defense, finding evidence, listening to his shows and podcasts. You guys are instrumental in helping him. Like, seriously, that's huge. And I think that you guys should be proud. All of you should be proud that you have that much influence and power on this and that you can help someone like Aiden and that you've stepped up. I think there should be less fighting among everyone at this point, and we should just go with what we can do, which is help Aiden, support Aiden with money, and support him with research and information and his podcast. You got to listen to him so you know when he said what, so he can respond to the lies. Because most of these charges, I think, are going to throw it out because they're clearly lies. Like when he imitates I don't even want to say their names anymore because am I going to get charged next? This is how bad Big Brother is in the state of Massachusetts right now. That's why this case is so important. I can't even say the punk's name. So when Aiden was imitating the punk bang bang tough kid that went to Bridgewater State College that dropped out, imitation is protected speech. Parody is protected speech. We've already decided that in this country. And so that's why I feel like when people went after the attorney, I think maybe it was because, like myself, we only saw some of the court case at first when Aiden was with his attorney, because we didn't get to see that pool feed until later. We saw mostly Ken Mello part. But if you look at it and you watch the whole pool video of the court appearance with Aiden, I think his attorney is right on the mark and doing the right thing. And I think he's going to win this case. And I love when he talks about the fact that, Judge, you can either do it here in Dedham or it's going to go to Boston. And if it doesn't, if they don't do the right thing in Boston, it'll go to Washington, D.C. Because that's what this case is. Because the law in Massachusetts, they wrote an unconstitutional law. They wrote a law that doesn't make any sense, that doesn't have any clear definition. It doesn't give any guardrails. It doesn't tell journalists or people doing YouTube shows what the actual line is. So Aiden's lawyer, I think he's got a great defense team. And I think that they're going to go far. I'm still worried about some of it, the conspiracy stuff. But again, I think that most likely Aiden's going to win this case. I think Karen Reed's going to win her case. And I think it comes down to all you. So you know what I want to do right now, too, is I want to open up the phone lines. If anyone calls tonight, you got me tonight. You got the audience. Let's make sure the phones are on. Again, too, if you want to donate tonight, you can donate on the Cash App. It's Mike Crawford 1 on Cash App, or Mike Crawford TYJ, like the Young Jerks. Mike Crawford TYJ on Venmo. Again, 50% of the money goes to the Young Jerks, myself. The other 50% is split, 25% each, to the Turtle Boy Defense Fund and the Karen Reed Defense Fund. And we do have the phone number, I believe. Let's check that one more time. But again, the telephone number, 978-560-3155. If you want to call in, you got a comment, question on any of this. Maybe you want to talk about Sandra Birchmore. Maybe you want to talk about Turtle Boy. Maybe you want to talk about the special town meeting or Canton Confidential, whatever you want to call in on. This is your opportunity. Usually my phone lines are lighting up, so this is your chance to get in tonight. Let me check them one more time. Make sure we are on. And we are on. I'm going to read that phone number again. 978-560-3155. If you want to weigh in on anything that we're talking about tonight. Maybe you want to talk about Karen Reed. Maybe you want to talk about Turtle Boy. Maybe you want to talk about what John Como had to say on Canton Confidential. And again, the new Facebook group, Canton Community Voices, definitely join it. Here we go. I knew we'd get a call. Hey, you're on the show. Who's calling?
This is Mark. How are you? How are you, Mike?
Good. Is this Mark D?
No, Mark S.
All right, Mark. How you doing tonight?
All right, yourself?
I'm doing good. I'm glad you called.
Okay, let's cut right to it. So Sunday, was it yesterday that the people were out in front of D&E?
Yes.
The pizza shop?
Yep.
Now here come four Canton cops coming at them. And they basically, have a guy that's on, I don't know if it's, facial eye recognition, whatever the not the laptop, but whatever the iPad that he had, the big thing there.
Yeah, I saw that.
Trying to recognize these. Now they can easily go up to people and just ask for IDs, but there's no reason for people to give the IDs. So if they refuse, they refuse. But still, you can get. I guess if they're doing the facial recognition, my point is, think about it. 3 Canton cops come up to you, and a 4th has the facial recognition, and now you feel intimidated like a son of a gun. And the next time you want to do anything like that, you have to like wear sunglasses and a mask, a pandemic type mask, because now the government is coming after you.
It's crazy.
I think we've reached the apocalypse here, that type of thing with this case. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
It's
I like what are they going to do next? Like, I feel like it's the 1950s Canton. Like, I didn't think this stuff existed like this anymore in Massachusetts. I thought they were like a little more advanced in their kind of, fuckery that they do. Mark, where are you calling from? If you don't mind me asking.
I'm out of Norton.
Okay.
Norton, Mass.
What do you think's going to happen at this, number one, at the special town meeting? Do you think that they're going to get the audit done? Is that going to fail? Yeah. And the McAlberts are going to win that? What do you think's going to happen there?
Oh, no, this is definitely, it's going to pass. They're going to bring all the people coming out and it's going to pass. I don't think it's going to be a problem at all. There's not enough people that are on the McAlbert side. You know what I mean? There's just not enough. They may be more vocal and more devious by sending letters, and things like that. But I just don't think that they have enough people. People have seen that, in my opinion, I don't live there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I grew up in Norwood. So I was next door. I, dealt with Canton a lot, over the years. Have got away from there, over the recent years, but still, know people, people that are participants in the effort, in the story, I guess you want to say. I've known them for years, but anyway, so
I hope so. Because I think it depends on turnout. Because I think the McAlbert people will come out. I think that's the key. The McAlbert people are coming out. They maybe have a smaller base, but they're coming out. So I just hope that the regular citizen doesn't get scared off and they come out and do something for the town.
How can you be in a suburban town like Canton and be there in fear? You know what I mean? How can you be in fear? Do they have that much power? I just think they're too small and getting smaller that people would jump to the other side. And what's wrong with having an audit? And what else is at the town meeting? I know it's an audit, but there's a couple of other things, term limits. And then there's one more thing. I think that the town will come out and approve everything. You know what I mean? Whatever goes against the McAlberts. But I would hate to be one of the people that are living in fear. I would never.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
I would never I would be one of the guys out there at D&E, that type of thing.
Yeah.
I'd be screaming from the hills, that type of thing. You're ripping the town's being ripped apart, obviously. And it's just, I'd be screaming, you're killing my town. You killed a Boston cop and now you're killing my town, trying to cover your asses for what you did that night. You did it. And you just, and you have Proctor that allowed you to get away with it. And now he's dragging down the whole state police. And, the Canton police officers have done it all themselves already, just because of their connections and what they did that night and what they're doing now. Like, again, what we've talked about with the right across the street from D&E. So they're doing it to themselves, Canton police, and Proctor's dragging down the whole Massachusetts state police. It's just ridiculous. Just ridiculous. The whole story is ridiculous. We won't forget this for years. They'll be talking about this story for years, decades. And it's going to take a long time for Canton to come back. It's going to take a long time for the Canton Police Department to come back. It's going to take a long time for the Massachusetts State Police to come back. We're just in the, we're in the middle. It's still going down. Everything is just going down. The town, both police forces are going down. And it's just a matter of, where is rock bottom? When's it going to happen? Is it going to be once Karen Reed is found innocent?
Right.
Once Turlopoly is found innocent? When's it going to end that the things can start to come back to normal?
Let me ask you two. This is a speed round part, Mark, because I do have someone else on the line here waiting. So, but I want to ask you two more quick questions. Canton Confidential. Have you been following that whole thing, the shutdown?
Oh, sure. I've talked to John plenty of times.
What do you think about that?
It's ridiculous. It's just at the exact time that you need something that's open and a good place of transparency or whatever, answering questions. Why are we doing this? That type of thing, answering questions. Why are they doing it? Answering questions for the residents that the place goes, the site goes dark. That's just ridiculous. Why? Yeah, George probably got some pressure by the selectmen.
Makes sense.
And probably one person that isn't a selectman but is involved with what happened at Fairview.
There you go. Let me ask you one more question.
Yeah. Okay.
We talked about the cameras and the facial recognition that they were doing on the protesters. I mentioned I feel like we're all being investigated, that they're setting up this thing. Do you think that they're going to go further than Aiden and bust other people?
Yeah. Should people that were at the Rolling Rally worry?
Yeah.
I don't know. Norwood was able to get some pictures at Brian Albert's house on Washington Street. Are they going to go after the cameras? Everybody that registered a car and drove by, such and such address on that Saturday afternoon, are they in jeopardy of being? It'll be a long list. But if they really want to do that homework, they could easily do it. And if what they're going to charge everybody with the same thing that
I know, right?
Add us to the bottom of the list with Aiden at the top, and we're all at the Rolling Rally, or that type of thing, that we're all in trouble. I don't know. but then again, that'll drag the town down just that much more.
I know.
And a lot of those people were from out of town that were at the Rolling Rally. So do you drag them down? And then what's funny though? 34 of Fairview, the people were at Fairview at the house itself for the Rolling Rally. There was no witnesses there that lived there, so you could go. You might be in trouble if you went by Proctor's house or the McCabe's house. But if you went by 34 of Fairview, nobody lives there anymore. That was part of that what happened that night. So that's not witness intimidation. So if you went to one house and not the other, you might be okay.
Exactly.
They have to realize there were no witnesses at 34 of Fairview. So,
thank you for calling, Mark.
I'll let you move on to somebody else.
Thank you so much for calling.
Good job. All right, we'll talk to you later.
Mark from Norton. Thank you. Call back again. That was a good call. We got someone else that we want to bring up here too. I also wanted to mention a bunch of trolls. They're always watching and commenting. I always I don't know. I'm kind of torn. Actually, we're gonna hold on. We're not gonna take any more calls right now. Let me get the banner off so people don't keep calling in. I got someone else in the green room I want to bring up, and then we'll start taking calls again. I'm sorry I couldn't take your call right now. But I want to say about the trolls. Oh, here they keep calling. Don't call. Stop calling. I'm going to turn my ringer off or something. I have to turn the whole system down. But the trolls in the comments, I could block them, but hey, they watch the show. They increase our numbers, so let them go off. But I think they're cowards. They just sit there in their little troll behind their troll accounts. Grow some balls and call in. And not with like the little baby prank phone calls you do. Like, defend yourselves. Like, let's hear from you. You got open phone lines, and none of you guys have the balls to call in. Let's hear from the guests that we actually want to really hear from, not the trolls. Hi, Jennifer.
Hi there.
How you doing tonight?
I'm the guest you really want to hear from?
Yes. And they keep calling. Now they keep calling. No calls right now. No calls. No calls.
Well, thanks for inviting me to join you, Mike.
Go ahead. I'm going to disconnect this thing for now, just so that we don't keep having it beeping. You go ahead, Jennifer.
I just sent you, hi, Lauren. I just sent you in Messenger the flyer, the hot off the presses flyer that just came up, that has just now been released by our Canton Moves Forward group. Excited to have it out there. Excited to be able to share it. And it's on my Facebook page too. And I actually went ahead and made it public again, at least that post, which is always scary. But it's that important to get it out. So if you are in Canton, if you know people in Canton, I'm sure that I don't know if it's up in the new Facebook group yet or not, but it is, like I said, it's on my Facebook page. I'm on Facebook as Jennifer Wiseman Trethaway, and you're welcome to pull it from there. There it is. And many thanks to the folks who worked tirelessly to get this put together and out so that we can share it. It's got some good facts about what we're hoping to accomplish, what the different articles on the warrant at the special town meeting are. And, you know, I'm happy to talk to anyone about it if they want to talk about it, if they're on the fence, if they're angry about what's there. I'm happy to talk about it. So feel free to reach out.
And it's the best kind of democracy too. Like, I love this. Like, ballot initiatives in the state of Massachusetts are also great. I love them. It was how we were able to do decrim and medical and then legal cannabis. I mean, without that, we would have never got anywhere because none of the major electeds would ever support us on that until we started winning initiatives. And, you know, it works. If people want something, it gives them a way to actually get it done. But most importantly, it lets the voters take the responsibility for the issue.
Absolutely.
Like, we always pass the buck in society. Like, that's what I loved about cannabis, because once we won on cannabis, a lot of us, even myself, woke up and were like, holy shit, we can actually change shit. We can actually, wow, we can actually decide something and get it done in the state. We're pretty lucky. Not every state has ballot initiatives. Not every town has a special town meeting. So this is great. People can vote. And it's on this. What I like about it is you have all these different articles. If you don't like something, you vote against it. Maybe you like something out, you vote yes for it. Like, you don't have to vote the same way on every single article. Right. You can weigh them all out individually and say, you know what? I like this one, or I don't like this one. And it's very simple. Like, do you want this? Yes or no? Do you want this? Right. I mean, I don't see what the big controversy is. We have town meetings all the time in my town. It never gets this crazy. Why do you think this has gotten so crazy, Jennifer, where people are getting threatened, websites are getting shut down, and all this crazy stuff's going on?
Well, you know, there are some very strong feelings in Canton these days. And, you know, full disclosure, George is my neighbor and my very good friend. And there's a lot of drama and intrigue being thrown in his direction. I don't think, let me see, what am I trying to say?
I don't know, but I got a comment here. It says, Mike, okay, your life will never be the same from now on, from a Kimberly Lynn. Now, if I look at that account, I'm guessing. Now, I could read it two different ways. It could be a supporter saying, you know, because my life has changed a little bit recently with the show, but I would guess that's probably from someone in a bot account making a threat to me, like right out in the open, like that. That's what we're dealing with. Just because I decided to have Turtle Boy on my show and back a bunch of women from Canton. I mean, that's what it comes down to. I've been threatened over and over again. I've been stalked. I've been trolled. I don't care. I enjoy it. But I know a lot of people don't. So How do you feel right now, Jennifer, being a Canton resident, being in the middle of all this?
Well, I had a tough weekend. I this past week, or the last time that I was on here with you, I did share the fact that I am planning to pull papers and run for a seat on select board planning to pull papers in January to run for a seat in April. And this past weekend, I had this moment of, what in the world am I doing? Why did I decide this was a good idea? Because things are getting really, really tense. And it cracks me up when people say, there's no big crisis in Canton, they're making it up. Because there's such a huge feeling of us versus them right now. And, we all have, regardless of how you're feeling about it, our goals, for the most part, are the same. We want to live in a safe town that's welcoming and fiscally responsible and well governed, and the people's ideas on how to get there might be different, but the end goal is the same. But right now, there's a lot of hate being thrown around. I had somebody approach me today and ask me a question, asked me to answer it honestly, and I did. And she spent the next several hours sending me messages telling me about why I was wrong. Angrily. I'm not getting threatened. I'm lucky in that. A lot of people are. But there is a lot of hate. And I understand why George was afraid that things are going to come to blows, because I have seen that palpable anger between people. And it's scary. And Canton Confidential, I think the first time that you and I talked, I described it as the grittier option.
Yeah.
And it maybe got a little too gritty. And they allowed everybody in, and that was a good thing, but people can't play nice in the sandbox. And I don't know that they necessarily should, but it's a little scary.
So now we've confirmed that it definitely is a troll account, because they came back. Turtle Boy said it to Jenna. You're saying it was a threat. No, I'm not saying it was a threat when Turtle Boy said it, because I heard the way he said it and who he was talking about and what I mean, I'm not here to go after Jen tonight. We're doing kind of a different thing. You can go prosecute that, Kimberly Lynn. But what I will say is totally different case when you say something in a message in text during our show, then Turtle Boy in a long dialogue about something, saying something out of context that you pull out of context. So you could try those ridiculous things, but I'm just noting how awful you people are. I don't sit there and stalk your pages. I'm not stalking your pages. So I'm sorry I cut you off, but I'm just noticing these trolls. It's hilarious, actually.
Well, they're kind of everywhere, so
They like to focus on it. Like it's funny how they focus on their one little thing, but they don't get anything done. Like, you ever notice that?
yes.
I don't have time to keep up my own life. I don't know how anyone keeps up with other people's lives. It's just.
Right, my husband's downstairs slamming the freezer door. Something fell behind it. He can't get it to shut. So
Yeah.
all I can hear is this thump, thump, thump.
Oh, that's all right. It's good you have a husband that makes thumps.
Hey, he's fixing the freezer, so I don't have to. I'm happy.
Can you come over to my house and help me fix some things after?
He's good at that.
That's awesome. See that I don't have enough time to be thankful for all the things I'm thankful for. Like that's in life. There's so many good things. Like your husband fixing the freezer.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just asking, you were talking earlier about the gentleman who called in earlier was talking about people being told that their taxes weren't going to get paid. I was just trying to find the answer that we got from the finance committee, because we did have several people who were at the finance committee meeting last week when they reviewed all of the articles and voted on them for a special town meeting and gave their recommendations on whether they think that whether they recommend a yes vote or a no vote. And they were very reasonable and very helpful and very positive with the people who were there presenting those articles to them. And there's a lot of confusion timing wise. This is a crappy time to have the meeting because they have to vote the next night to finalize the tax rate for the town. And it has to be done before December 1st. And I think that that's what I've been told. Still learning about all of this. So there's a lot of confusion. We asked the moderator for the meeting to approve voting by secret ballot, by written ballot for the audit vote. And the FinCom, if it's suggested and voted on the floor at the meeting, then the meeting has to be suspended for 36 weekday hours. And then it would have to reconvene the next week because Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday are all holidays for the town offices. So that would put us into the next week, which would delay the vote, which would cost the town. The town would have to take money out of the reserve fund, which would then cost us interest, if I understood that right. And I'm sorry if I didn't. I apologize if I don't. That's what I was just trying to find. But people saying that taxes aren't going to get paid, that's not the case. But there is pressure coming. I have heard all kinds of rumors that people who are working for the town are being pressured to come and vote no, to show up at the meeting and vote no. I don't have any confirmation of that, but that is another rumor that's flying around. So,
What do you think about the Canton Confidential? What happened there? You're trying to you're weighing your words carefully. I can tell you're about to.
I am.
I don't.
Because I think that right now, our first instinct is to see conspiracy everywhere. And I really don't think that there was conspiracy there on George's part. I like I said, he is my neighbor and my friend. I've known him for years.
But don't you think he has a conflict though with this proposed pavilion at Paul Revere Heritage?
But he's not looking for money from the town.
But that's his kind of pet project though. It's kind of it's the thing that he really wants.
It is. And this,
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's a good thing, actually. Like we need people like George.
It will be wonderful.
Yeah.
Again,
but it does add a conflict. That kind of, like, for me, that gives him an easy out to say, you know what, I'm just going to hand it over to John. He doesn't have the conflict.
Yeah.
Like, why not do that? Just because of the, like when you're a politician or a community leader or an activist. I've been involved. I haven't been a politician, but some of the, I used to lead an organization. I was a president of a nonprofit, and it's like being a politician. And if you have any appearance of a conflict, you gotta like seriously address it, or just remove it. Like you can't have a conflict.
Yep.
And that's why I left that nonprofit, because I wanted to do media work. Like there was a conflict with me doing media work, which I was getting offered at that point, and being the leader of the nonprofit. So what I had to make a decision, one or the other. Chose the media work, and I said I'll still help the nonprofit. So like, you know what I mean? Like I don't get why he just doesn't make the simple decision and say, you know what, I have a conflict. I'm gonna give it to John. Like, what do you think about that?
Well, I think that the instinct when you have something that is causing a lot of conflict, and some of the discussions in there were getting really just vitriolic. I mean, it was, and I think that the instinct is it's only going to get worse between now and the meeting. So maybe we shut it down, because then it doesn't have the opportunity to get worse. I don't know that that's what I would have done. Like I said, I was a journalism major. But I also know that George is a huge proponent of free speech, and I'm not sure that he quite realized what was going to come at him from that decision.
Now we got, like, this is funny because we got some good comments here, but here's one. And it's from the Brothers in Cars. This is the Brothers Como. I don't know if it's George or John who's commenting behind that account right now. So they said, because George understood the legal ramifications on all posts, whereas John would almost always allow anything.
I think that's John.
Yeah, I think it might be, but so like maybe John is now agreeing with George. He's changed his mind. Some people are getting mad at John now. I don't know. I guess I'm gonna give them both a pass, but I just wish you wouldn't do it. I wish you would just give it to John, just for like, and just back him up a little bit. I don't know, but let's, there was another comment that came in that I thought was really good. They want to ask when you're on the select board, because you're running for select board now, Jennifer. And do you have a website and all that? Can people follow you?
Not yet.
Okay.
It's coming. Nothing can really happen until January. So right now we're getting all of our ducks in a row. So it will happen soon. And I promise that when it does, I will share it with you.
And it was John, so that who said that. But the question, see if I can get this question. Oh, here it is. This is a great question. Mike asked Jennifer, is she going to collect Chris Albert's back taxes? So when you're the select board, are you going to make sure that Chris Albert pays his taxes?
I haven't seen where I have the power to do that as a select board member yet, but maybe I just haven't read that part of the manual. I'm still working my way through it. There actually is a manual.
I'm sure there should be. I wonder if Chris has ever opened it.
There's been speculation on that too.
He's probably
there's
like, oh,
there's a lot of pictures in it.
Yeah.
But I have not seen where I would have that opportunity. But if I do, I think everyone should pay their taxes.
I think so too. Let me ask you another question. Special town meeting. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think that the police audit will be approved or not?
You know, I'm hopeful. I think it will all depend on how many people we can get in the room. We are working really hard to get people in those seats. And, I misspoke when I was on here before. The state guide to town meeting says that anyone can attend a town meeting, but that only residents can speak or vote. The town bylaws for Canton say that if you are not on the list of registered voters, you cannot attend town meeting. And that's been true before. That's not a change that anyone made just now. That was true before, but I was going by the state and not by the town. So it will be just the voters who decide that they feel like it's okay to be there. I know a lot of people are afraid to come. They're afraid to come in and use their voices and share their desires to see checks and balances. I got into a little bit of a disagreement today with the wife of one of our select board members, who was posting about supporting our local police department. And I said that I don't think that supporting the police department and supporting the audit are mutually exclusive. I think that the purpose of the audit is not necessarily to say you're doing this wrong. It's to say these are the things you're doing right, and these are the places where you need to improve, and here's how you do that. And I think that it's very difficult for me to understand why someone wouldn't support that.
Yeah, it's very strange, especially the way that they're anti-police and all this other crap. We're getting a lot of comments in here, a lot of trolls, which is awesome. Thank you, Kimberly Lynn. You're good for something. So here's what they say. Oh no, wait, that was Kevin is so jealous of Turtle Boy. It's so obvious. They're talking about Kevin from Yellow Cottage Trails because he was getting compliments from the here it is from the trolls. Here's one. Yellow Cottage Tales knows the score. Yeah, the score that Kevin knows is his ego is bigger than everyone else's.
Yes.
Seriously. I noticed that everything is I with Kevin. I. Oh my God. It's so funny who they have, like their spokespeople. It's like Coffin Daffer, Wendy Murphy, Kevin, Krusty Pandy. I mean, these are like Brian Riccio, like Kimberly. I mean, these are. I wouldn't hire any of them for anything ever. Not hireable. I don't know. I don't know how Jennifer Coffindaffer got through the FBI. I mean, I guess that's just a dysfunctional workplace. I don't know. I mean, these folks are.
I couldn't even begin to guess.
Yeah, they're not the best and brightest. They've all got issues. They say Aiden has issues. You're not even like. Let's talk about that, Jennifer, because you got some crap. Because you're not like the rah-rah Aiden guy at all. And you've even said a few things and you kind of got some pushback from some riders.
I did. That's true.
Do you think it's weird though, like that you're getting so much pushback about Aiden when this really has nothing to do with Aiden at this point with what's going on in Canton, does it?
It doesn't. And I like I said, I politically don't agree with a lot of what Aiden has to say. I have a friend who was very hurt by some of what he put out on his page a couple of years ago. in this particular case, am I glad that he, put a light on what's going on with Karen Reed? Absolutely. When the story about John O'Keefe's death first broke, we heard it in the news and it didn't make sense when we first heard it. And at that point, it was, that this woman accidentally hit her boyfriend and he died. And even then, it was like, well, that story doesn't make sense. How could you not know that you hit someone? And as it continued to develop, it started to make less sense. And I don't know that anybody would have asked the right kinds of questions if Aiden hadn't stepped in. And my point about it was that people were saying, saying that we were Aiden's puppets. We're not
Right.
Aiden's
I'm getting that all the time. I'm his puppet.
and that we asked him to come to our select board meeting. We told him to come in. First off, I don't think
I want to say something too on this, and then we also got Rita. I want to bring Rita up. Rita's in the green room. But people keep calling me a puppet for Aiden. Yeah. Aiden doesn't ask me to do anything.
Yep.
Like he does not.
I have never spoken to Aiden.
Yeah. Yeah, you've never spoken to him. There you go.
Nope.
I've spoken to him, but mostly most of my speaking to him has been on the show. Honestly, there have been some back and forth messages, but since he got busted, I don't even think we've had any back and forth messages. Like we don't really talk. Like if you see me communicating with him online, that's pretty much what it is. Like that's it. Like so I don't know how yeah, but let's bring up Rita anyways. Rita, what's up, Rita?
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How you doing tonight?
Good.
Hey, Rita.
I hear you talking about Aiden.
Yes. Oh, I mean, how can you not? Because they just 24/7. I got these messages from people, and it's just about Aiden all the time, and they don't want to talk about. I try to bring up what's going on in Canton, all the issues you're having. They don't want to talk about that. These leftists don't care that democracy is being stifled. They don't care. All they care about is Aiden.
Well, how can Aiden is fighting for democracy? I mean, he's fighting for truth and justice, like all of us. I have different feelings. I mean, Jennifer, I just heard what you said, and I have different feelings about Aiden. I think Aiden's a hero in all this. I think that he has done an impeccable job. And if it wasn't for Aiden, look, Karen Reed. There was a story on Karen Reed, and like Jennifer, I was like, okay, she hit him, didn't sound right, nothing sounded right, hit him with the glass, none of that made sense. But you had the authorities come out less than 24 hours later declaring her guilty. And then you had that fragment of the sentence, similar to what they did in Aiden's charging documents. They take fragments. So Karen said, oh my, could I have hit him? When she was told by Jen McCabe that he never went in the house. So that's a logical thing to think. It's like, well, if you didn't go in the house, what happened? So he uncovered, he looked at the court documents. He spent extensive time looking at those court documents. And if it wasn't for him sharing those court documents with his audience and pursuing it the way he did, we wouldn't be here today. We wouldn't know the corruption we have going on in this town. And they're all related. As much as people try to separate them, they're not separable. They're not. They're all related. One leads to the other. And Jennifer, I hear what you're saying. When I first started listening to Aiden Turtle Boy in the May-June timeframe, and I was sharing the stories, with people, I did get pushback because, there was a time that, and I never heard it, but I guess there was a time when he had views that were not supportive of everybody. We're all on this earth together. LGBTQ, I'm huge LGBTQ. My son is gay. I'm very supportive of transgenders. I'm very supportive of the Black community. I'm supportive of everybody. We're here for a short period of time, and let's live together, and let's better understand each other, and not just appreciate each other. Let's thrive together. So that's my view. And I've heard that Aiden wasn't like that, but I will say this. We all change, we all grow, we all mature. Yes. And I have seen him since the beginning of this story evolve into the person that he is today. And he has really grown. And I don't find his podcasts or, shows offensive. He has really changed and grown, and I think matured. And he knows this is the story of his lifetime. It's the story of our lifetime, So, I appreciate him, and I highly respect what he's doing. And I know, some people, feel differently. And, that's a great thing about this country. We don't have to agree.
Right. And I don't have to.
Rita and I don't have the same exact views, but that doesn't stop us from really liking each other.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And working on something together.
Exactly.
And working on something together. And you know what? We don't have to listen to you. Like, that's the thing. People think I need to listen to them. Like their ridiculous comments and their messages. I don't need to listen to you. Like, they mean nothing to me. Yeah. Life's too short. But someone's got a comment that this is their comment tonight, Rita. I want you to respond to it. It says, Rita, you are also being investigated. These are the trolls tonight. I mean, they're saying hateful things like, oh, Karen was smashed. These are the comments coming in. And they're all coming from one group of people, I believe, people that hate Aiden. It's about Aiden. It's not about Karen. It's not about Rita. Not about the town of Canton. It's about their hate of Aiden. But this comment came in probably from one of those folks. And they say, Rita, you are also being investigated. LOL, laugh out loud. Never change. What do you think about that? Do you think we are being investigated?
I came right on. I have been a very good, upstanding citizen, and I've always paid my bills. And never had a tax lien, never had anything. I have worked my entire life. I have worked since I was 9 years old. I had a paper route, 9 years old. My parents didn't have money. I've worked my entire life. I know what it's like to work. I went to college nights, 14 years nights. I know who I am. I have a tremendous work ethic, and I'm a law-abiding citizen. So, I'm sure they are investigating me to try to find something. I did hear there was a meeting last week, and so we're going to find out if what I heard was correct. And the meeting last week was to develop a smear campaign against us and to really destroy us and bring us down. So if we start to see stuff in the next 2 weeks attacking us personally, well, then we know that they really did have that special meeting that we've been asking for. And weren't invited to, and they told us they couldn't have it. So if we start seeing a smear campaign come out, you heard it here first, Mike. We heard it on your show.
There you go.
And they can investigate me all they want. And after what they did to Aiden, where they took fragments of what he said and put it in a charging document, fragments of what Karen Reed said and put it in a charging document, I wouldn't be surprised if they put fragments of what I said. I say peaceful, polite, respectful, and have fun.
I love how the troll. Another one of the trolls is saying is that we're all going to be audited. Here's another one. You have been submitted to the IRS, but here they have a selectman who doesn't pay us taxes, and they don't care about that. Like we're all taxpayers. We're all like not criminal people, not sleaze bags. But they want the IRS to come after us, not the selectman who's got years and years of tax liens and money he owes small businesses. He owes other people money, doesn't show up to court, failure to appear. They don't care about that.
So there's a comment there that says Boston Department of, is that a real comment or is that
Right.
like,
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think
yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah,
another
yeah. So
troll moron.
submit it to the IRS, you know, I mean, this is what they do. But the thing about it is that people need to stand up, because if people can't see what's going on, this is a problem. And the good Americans need to stand up and use their voices, find their courage and say, no, this is not right. Because if they don't, they're next. And it's probably happening in their town and they just don't know it.
Exactly.
Well, it was you know, I had no idea that anything was happening in Canton.
I had no idea either.
20 years.
I had no idea either. I just lived my life. I was happy. You know, I have a tremendous amount of respect for the police force. You know, I mean, like any business, you know, you have somebody who doesn't adhere to the rules. Okay, that gets addressed. That person gets addressed. But that doesn't mean that whole organization is bad. It means you got some bad apples and you need to address them just like you would in the corporate world. So, you know, you know, I don't, you know, I don't want to go down too much there, but, you know, unions versus not unions. I mean, are the unions protecting bad policemen? You know, it's something, you know, for someone to look into at some point. But right now, we just want what's right for this town, and we want to restore trust. And you can't restore trust in a town when you have mainstream media not covering the story, when you have police men and state troopers charging people based on fragments of what they say, when you have successful communication via Facebook groups, and all of a sudden it shuts down for 2 weeks. And I have my own theories of what prompted them to shut that down. And I do believe it's because last week, the police chief put in the Canton Citizen that things that were not accurate, and regarding the forgery, you know, the potential forgery in one household, and put things that were not accurate in the paper and stated them as fact, when in fact she never interviewed the other side, because if she did, she would have found out that she was down the wrong rabbit hole. You know, we did not source signatures by knocking on people's doors. People drove to us. And then the Board of Select puts out this, you know, article, interviewed, and made it look like, oh, we're responsive to the people and this, that, and the other thing. We've been making for 6 months for a meeting, and so much that they wouldn't do it that we were forced to take the route of special town meeting. But they put an article like they were responsible, you know, they were responsive to us, made it, people who wouldn't know would think that they were. And then one tiny sentence about 3 people receiving threatening letters, one tiny sentence at the end. It was kind of like that tiny apology that really wasn't. And even
that was wrong, because it was 4 letters, not 3.
Even that was inaccurate. Even that was inaccurate. So that wasn't even reported correctly. And why? Maybe because they didn't want people to know that there were 3. There were 4. There were 4. And, you know, and it's interesting that that letter had similar writings.
Here we go. We got them right up here. They're in our comments.
Yeah,
I think they're in our comments. I think whoever wrote that letter is in our comments right here. Bert's a total coward. Bert, I'm going to open on the phone line. I want you to call in. See if you have any balls. I doubt you do. I think you have no balls at all. Bert writes, you people know this is just the start. We're looking into every corner of your lives. Rita, are you sure you want everyone to know everything? This is what we're up
to. Oh my God, I'm frightened, Bert. I'm frightened, I am. I'm frightened. There's an army out there, Bert. You don't frighten me, okay?
Bert, why are you so afraid to call in? Bert, why don't you call in? What are you afraid of, Bert?
Come on, Bert.
Come on, Bert. Grow some balls, Bert. I'm going to put up the phone number right now for Bert. Bert is a coward. Bert's got no balls. Ballless Bert. Here we go. 978-560-3155. When the phone doesn't ring, I'll know who it was. It was Bert with no balls. Bert has no balls.
Come on, Bert.
Come on, Bert. You're a big man. Call in.
We are looking into every corner. See, this is what they're doing. They had a meeting last week. What can they do to scare people? What can they do to intimidate people?
Mhm.
And people are not intimidated, and they don't know what to do. We created that new website when Canton Confidential made the decision to close the 2 weeks prior. Sounds like censorship to me. And we said, no, homie, don't play that game. And not only did we create another website, another Facebook page, but we also welcomed everybody in. So Bert, come on in. But if you're
wait, I think I just hung up on Bert. Bert, call back for your
Bert,
no
call
caller
back.
ID. You
Bert's
wimp.
not calling back. Bert's not calling back. He's not a real person.
No, I think he did call. There was no caller ID.
Come on in, Bert.
That's
Come
what
on in, Bert.
that's what a ballless Bert would do.
Yeah.
He'd call in with a blocked number. Call
Right.
in, blocked Bert.
Right. Go ahead and look in every corner of my life. Go ahead. You'll see all of my achievements. You'll see them all. Go ahead. And
I wish I could. Oh, here we go. We're gonna take this guy's call. Let's see who this is.
Is this Bert? Come on,
I think
Bert.
so. Wait. Hey, is this Bert? Hi, is this Bert?
I was the one that was asking about Angela Chano Donald, whether she was single or not. So I'm not Bert, but I did want to say, I just want to say,
I just hung up on him. I feel sorry. We opened it up for Bert, and you're not Bert. It's like I just
Yeah, Bert, you gotta go.
and you're calling for a blocked fucking number. Like
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. I hate to be rude, but the number is for ballless Bert right now. We're trying to prove a point. We don't need anyone else to call. Nobody else call except ballless Bert. 978-560-3155. Show us how ballless you are, Bert. Let's see if you.
Right. And let me just say this, Mike, right? Nothing, just like Tara Schumann, just like Jennifer Trethewey and all the rest of us, we speak with our names and our faces. But people like Bert have to speak from blocked lines and behind anonymous posts or fake profiles. What does that say? We are the ones that are courageous, and these people are not. They have to hide behind whatever. And the people in this country who believe in truth, justice, and transparency are coming out of the woodwork, Bert. And so we'll see you.
Everyone wants Bert to call in. Our comments are all like, Bert, let's go. Isn't it Bert? Bert, let's go. Ballless Bert.
Oh, that is so good. That's exactly who it is.
What's this one?
How silly of me not to pick up
Bert
on that.
got oh god. Hey. Loser. Yeah. What happened to Bert? You're so tough.
I know. They could do so much. And what did Grandpa Clip say? Behind the keyboard.
Yeah.
They could do they could bully behind the keyboard. You know what? I don't bully. And I am who I am. And, unfortunately, Bert doesn't have the courage or the guts or the character to tell us who he really is. Or she.
Yeah. I also want to put this out there too, because a few good comments. Someone else said Bert is Chris Albert. Could be. I wouldn't doubt it. Someone else said, I hope Lizzie calls my job. That has come up in the Turtle Boy case. If I saw comments about this, I don't know if you know anyone, Rita, but if anybody got a call at their workplace from Elizabeth Proctor, Lizzie Proctor, if you got a call from that wife, I want to talk to you. Please contact me. I want to talk to whoever. If your workplace, on or off the record, please. I'm sure Aiden's probably followed up on this, but I want to follow up too on this show. So if anybody has gotten a call from the wife of the state trooper, Lizzie Proctor, if she called your workplace to try to get you fired, I want to know about it. Please hit me up and let me know about it.
Yeah, it's really important because, this is what they do. you know, blame somebody. It's projection, you know, accuse somebody of doing exactly what you have done. And that's call people's places and try to get people's fired. You know, that's the MO. It's middle
Rita,
school.
Bert says he's going to be contacting you directly.
Who,
That's
me?
the comments there.
Where's he? Who's he going to contact me?
Rita. He says, Rita,
so,
trust me, I'll be contacting you direct. It's okay.
He texted you what on Facebook?
No, it's in the comments.
Oh, I can't see the comments. Oh, there it was. Oh, I see. Now I'm in the comments.
Yeah.
Yeah, so. Bert, don't bother. Bert, listen, Bert, as much as I'd like to, you know, kumbaya with you, I really need to save my time and energy for positive change in this town and in this country. So I don't have time for trolls. I just don't. So, but maybe there's somebody else out there for you. Not me. Even on our Facebook page. Can I just plug the Facebook page?
Yes.
Canton Community Voices. Because we want to hear people's voices. And we want to hear not just the voices that sound like ours. We want to hear everybody's voices, even Kevin Reddington, who just joined today. We want to hear from him. We want to get this dialogue going because clearly it's not going to happen with our select board. And, you know, so we welcome everybody. We are all welcoming. Even the Canton Police Department we welcome. We welcome all policemen because we support the police. We just don't support the rogue ones.
Right.
Oh, there it is.
So finally, someone wants us to move on from Bert, but we had so much fun with him, and the comments did too. Everyone was loving Bert.
It's really Jen McCabe. It's either Jen McCabe or it's Lizzie.
So you ladies must have some final thoughts about select board meeting tomorrow, the special town meeting. What are your final thoughts to share tonight?
Please come. If you live in Canton, please come. If you have questions, please ask. The more people we have there, the better chance there is that we can start to move our town out of this place into someplace better. So please come to the meeting.
Yeah, and it's really imperative that people come to the meeting. And there is the reason I believe that they tried to silence us for 2 weeks is so they could effectively drown us out with their negative campaign, which they've already started. And there, you know, people say, you know, we're bullies or we're anti-police. Nobody ever backs it up with anything because they have nothing to back it up because it's not true. We need the town. There is nothing to be afraid of on this special town meeting. Companies are audited every year for compliance. And I was in the finance industry for 17 years. We were audited every year. That is good business practice. That's not, oh, let me get you. That's good business practice. So you know what your baseline is, and then you improve from there. And for some reason, you know, the word audit has been turned into a negative experience, and people are frightened. And if they're doing their job, there's nothing to be afraid of. And if there's ways to improve, I mean, let's just face it, that crime scene on January 29, 2022 has more holes than Swiss cheese. And there is no basis to have charged Karen Reed. And so that's a separate issue. The audit would be for policies and procedures and a random sampling to make sure that people adhere to the policies and procedures. And there should be no reason for people to fear that.
And again, you know, the idea of supporting the audit and supporting the police, not mutually exclusive. You can support the police and still vote yes for an audit because it will just help the police.
Right. We support the police. And I know people are concerned, and I think others will be speaking. There'll be information coming out later on the vote of no confidence. And that is I think that's more symbolic than anything else. I mean, they're saying that, oh my God, they're going to fire us all, and we're not going to have anybody here, and they're ringing the alarm bells to frighten people when it's not true. It's not true. It's disappointing that we had to petition for a special town meeting to have a meeting with the leaders in our community. Why did it take that? Why? But now that we have it, they're doing everything that in their power to discredit the meeting and discredit us.
Going to be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, we need people. And anybody, if I could just say one more thing, Mike, because I know you talked for 30 minutes, but man, once I'm on your show, I just want to keep going.
We can take phone calls. We got to take some calls if you want to
take some calls. Let's get Bert on.
Do you want to stick around, both of you, or do you have to go?
I have to go figure out what's happening with my freezer.
Okay. Hopefully you fixed it. Hopefully it's all done.
Yeah, I don't hear any more banging, so that's a good
go.
sign.
It's either he fixed it or he gave up for the night. One or the other.
Right. Either he fixed it or all the food's on the floor. One of the two.
That's it. All right. Thank you for being here, Jennifer. Good luck on your campaign. And thank you so much.
Look at this. Rita, is the 617 number a good number? Yeah, that's a good number. Call me on it.
If he has the balls, we got a phone call. Let's see who's on the phone now. Who's on the phone now?
My number's not 617.
we got a 617 on the line right now, actually. Who's this?
Yeah, it's Bert. It's
hey,
Bert,
how are you?
Is this the real Bird or not?
No. No, it's Gene from Dorchester. I've called him before.
Oh, hey, Gene. How you doing?
Good. Hi, Rita.
Hi.
I just wanted to say, I love watching your show. This is awesome. But I just wanted to say, I wanted to piggyback off something that Rita said earlier about like Aiden changing. I've been a fan of Aiden since way back day. I'm talking about when he used to call in on WEEI with Callahan and Minahan. That was Turtle Boy, and no one knew that he was the Aiden. He was just Turtle Boy before his secret came out. But what I want to say is that Aiden used to be a huge supporter of the police. They could do wrong. And that's one thing that used to piss me off about Aiden, is he was always for the cops. So what I'm saying is, see how easy it is for something to happen and it changes your life forever. Aiden is going through all this, right? And the trolls that are calling in and stuff like that. I don't know if you guys remember, last time I called in, Rita was on your show too. And I had said that this is just the beginning. They are going to go after Aiden. He is uncovering something, and it's not even apparent anymore. And that's what pisses me off. It's about him exposing the other people for their dirty laundry, and they don't like it. They don't want to be put in the same category as like people who get arrested, who are considered thugs or dirtballs or have been through the system. Now they're looked at different, from everybody in their community, when before they were just a bunch of people that people kiss their ass, So now the tables have turned. Once I seen Aiden get arrested and they took his computer and took his phone, I'm like, they are going through everything, all right? And maybe in a year, 6 months, 2 years, little things about Aiden are gonna spill out. You know what I mean? They're gonna be. They're not supposed to be looking at. Jen McCabe knows shit that's on his phone already. So do the Alberts. So do all of them. They're all in cahoots. They all know everything now. I said it to you guys, and I'm going to find it and I'm going to prove it. But I said, once they get a hold of this stuff, it's on. And that's all they wanted, was his phone and his computer, his sources, to get a little bit of information, because they don't know nothing. Their only case, they don't know nothing. Their case is literally goes off what Aiden has. They don't even know what to say because they don't know what he knows. So they have no fight in him. They have no fight. So he's uncovered every single thing, and he's uncovered stuff about their personal life and their personal. And those dicks don't like it. They don't like it. How dare you? I'm not a regular person. I'm Chris Albert. I'm Ryan Albert. I'm Colin Albert. This is all this is about. It's not about Karen. We all know she's innocent. They know she's innocent. They have no fight. They all know it. It's all about covering up for each other because they all know everything about each other. So they have to do it. So now he's fighting for his life, so to speak. You know what I mean? Now he has to fight to prove what he did was it wasn't wrong. And it's just going to continue. They're making everything last longer. People will forget. People will stop talking about it. That was their plan, and that's what they did. And that's why I made a comment the other day, and I said, it seems to me that we keep on waiting. We're like, when's the ball going to drop? When's the FBI going to say something? When's this going to happen? What's going on? We've been saying this, right, for a year now, and nothing's happening. The only thing that's happening, it seems like they keep on winning. They keep on winning. And I'm done. I'm sick of it because we all know the truth. These judges and these cops and these people, it's like, what the hell is going on? We are regular people here. We're smart people, educated people. We're good people. We do the right thing. And we're seeing with our own two eyes, and there's nothing we can do but sit and wait and just hope that Aiden's attorneys help and fight. You know what I mean? So it's like, I knew this was going to happen. I knew they were going to go after Aiden. I said it. I said, they're going after him. I'm telling you right now, they are. This isn't it. The way Aiden is a lot of people don't like the way that he reports. I love him. Like I said, I've been watching him for forever. But a lot of people don't like these people that are making these stupid comments. I want to punch them in the face too. I can't even stand looking at them.
Listen to Gene. I just muted a button. I just put a bunch of them in timeout. They must be so mad right now because it was getting, it was getting repetitive. It was just like, you can't say the same thing over and over. Some people want me to bring back the FBI guy because he was kind of funny, but.
Yeah, the FBI guy was funny. Yeah. 617, right? No, you got that wrong too.
I think we should be talking more about how Jim Ferris is a litterbug too. Someone just made that comment.
Yeah, he's the rude son of a gun.
Isn't it funny how the Canton police are like, we have to investigate everything, but we have a video of this guy littering. You think he's going to get a fine?
I know. So funny. I'm telling you, it's ridiculous. And I love people like Rita who just keeps going on, you got to keep talking about it, Mike.
Absolutely.
You got to keep talking about it.
We cannot be afraid. We need to use our voices, and we need to be peaceful and use and positive energy, because they don't know what to do with positive energy. We're happy. They want people to think we're an angry mob. There's not an angry bone in us. We're happy people because we're exercising our rights.
No,
Americans.
That's literally all it is. It's literally all it is people fighting for justice for one person, and people are going crazy over it.
Let me ask you another question. Gene, we just got a great comment from Meredith O'Neill. I think she was one of the protesters on Sunday too. She said, please, Mike, submit a report of the litter bug. I want someone to do that, not me, because I got the FOIA request from Helena Rafferty, and then she responded, and I responded pretty not nice back to her, and I don't think she's going to do anything for me. So I would love it if a Canton resident submitted a report of the litter bug and let us know. I think Meredith is onto something. Will someone submit a report of the litter bug, Jim Ferris? Include the video. Say, we've got video, we got a picture. What are you going to do? He broke the law. And we think he breaks the law like probably 10 times a day. If you should probably sting him. You should probably send 4 cops down there with facial recognition, and you can get it all on video. He's sitting right there. Go get him. Right? Right.
Well, a litter bug, Mike. You might as well be a murderer.
Send out 4 cops and the facial recognition cameras. I mean, right? So someone's got to report it. Will Gene? Will you report it for us?
I will. I absolutely will. I'm gonna start the whole. I'm gonna report everything. Everything I see from now on, I'm reporting it.
I love it. They got to investigate it. They have to investigate it if they have a report, a complaint.
They'll be coming after me next.
Wasn't
She's
that
from
an eye
Dorchester.
shot?
We know she's sweet. She's from Dorchester. We know she's shady.
Gene, didn't they let her in front of Danny?
Gene, I love it. Thank you so much for calling tonight.
Oh yeah, I love you guys. Keep up the good work, and I'll be calling in again.
Thanks, Gene.
Gene
All right,
from
bye.
Dorchester. We love her. She's amazing. Suzanne says, Susanna Cleveland says, every butt it's like 72 per day. Seriously, I wonder how many Jim Ferris butts is sitting at that little seat he sits in, like that little
With an eye shot. They were protesting with an eye shot. He was littering with an eye shot.
We got another call. Turtle Boy is watching too. He said that Jim Ferris messaged him back. I'm wondering what Jim Ferris had to say. Maybe we get Turtle Boy on the line too tonight. That would be awesome. Who's on the phone right now?
Hi, Mike. This is Rick.
Rick, what's going on? What do you got for us?
How you doing?
Good.
Hey, I love your show. Glad I stumbled across it. It's unfortunate how I stumbled across it. Rita, you're the balls. It's Rick that I sent you a couple messages about speaking in public, how it can't be restricted.
Oh, yes.
I don't think people are fully aware of the stance of the police. I'm in construction. I'm around detail cops 6 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
None of them will touch this topic. None of them will come out and say anything about it. I had one today, and I asked the guy, how long you been on the job? He says, 10 years. I says, do you follow Turtle Boy at all? He says, no, not really, but kinda. I said, all right, are you following the Karen Reed case? He says, a little bit. I says, there was a group that went yesterday to Canton and protested across the street from the sub shop that one of the guys is in a so-called not kind of a witness. And 4 police officers from Canton came up with these papers, with a paper stating a law that was incomplete. Now, whether it's legit or not, let's say it isn't legit. When do you, as a 10-year police officer of Stoneham, turn to your boss and say, I'm not doing that? This is clearly a violation of everybody's rights, not just those people. He says, I could say no, but I'd catch a lot of hell for it. So you would violate someone's rights versus catching hell? You got a union behind you that'll back you because they don't want your rights violated. You, the police officer, if your rights were being violated, you'd run to the union, but you don't have an issue of taking an order from a chief or your lieutenant or sergeant and go there and violate the people's rights one way or another. Well, there's a lot to this whole case. And then they just go down that road that this is just a giant conspiracy. Look how many people have to buy into it to make it be real. Are you kidding me? Just like Aiden says, all you have to say for those people that was in that house, I didn't see him. He didn't come in the house. That's it. That's all I have to say. Well, it's a big giant conspiracy. Mm-hmm. The conspiracy is the cover-up. And only one guy has to really orchestrate the thing, or maybe 2, Proctor and Albert, and then it's done. But none of these guys will own up to it. 98% of the details that I speak to will not even go down the road. I don't even really follow it. How can you not follow this? This is a cop that maybe got killed by another cop. How can you not follow it if you're a cop? I'm a construction worker. When I see an accident, the guy who fell off the Boston City garage, we followed that. We're still trying to follow it to see exactly what happened so we can learn from that instance not to walk the machine out onto a concrete floor that could bust, and then he goes down 30 feet. Who wouldn't follow? This is bizarre. The answers that I hear are absolutely bizarre. Now, the sheriff's department, we get them out of Middlesex County. Most of them come out of like House of Bill Ricker House of Correction. Most of them see it. But the PD, forget it. They don't even want to get on that road. They won't even talk about it.
Thank you so much for calling.
Bizarre.
Thank you for calling tonight.
I could go on and on. You're welcome. Take care.
Thank you. That was Rick. I guess John Como is trying to call in. John,
Okay.
what if I have his number, actually? Maybe I don't.
And I just want to comment on Rick.
Yeah, go ahead.
These people are saying, oh, they don't follow it, not that much. Sure they are. Sure they are.
Exactly.
A cop died? Sure they are. They just don't want to comment. So if they say, hey, I don't know anything, then they can't comment.
Yeah, call in, John Como. We'd love to hear from you. Nobody else call in right now except John Como. That you have the number, right, John? 978-560-3155 if you're still calling. I also gave you the StreamYard link. You can jump right ahead of everyone if you use that link too, John. All right, we're the Young Jerks. Got two great ladies, Jennifer and Rita from Canton tonight. We're talking about the Canton case. Actually, you know what? We'll take phone calls. We can't wait for John all night, right? How many minutes should we give him?
We love John.
We do, but he may have done something else now. He may be done for the night. Right?
I'll text him.
Yeah. Can you text him? 978-560-3155 is our number.
Say that again. 978.
560-3155. We're waiting for John from Canton Confidential.
Just gave it to him. We'll see what he does.
We might have to give him some shit, though, if he starts talking Georgisms. It sounds like George got to him.
Well, I got to tell you, this case, everything touches so many people. People have no idea.
I do.
It's the web and your family, your friends, your acquaintances. It really impacts it. And I'm sure that George didn't want to shut down that page for 2 weeks. I'm sure that he was coerced. And, he's not going to say that. This is his town. He loves his town. Oh, Jonathan said he's trying to call in. He just texted me. He's trying to call in.
Is he using StreamYard or a phone number? What's going on?
He said he's trying. Should I tell him to use the StreamYard?
Yeah, that's the easier way. Then we can take phone calls.
Yeah.
We don't have to shut down all the lines for him while we wait for him.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, maybe this is him. This is probably him.
Oh, maybe that's him.
Let's see who it is. Who's on the phone? Is this John Como?
Can we talk about the elephant in the room?
Which one? Which one, buddy?
So many. There's so many nowadays. So I read an article today or a post today from basically they're saying that George is in cahoots to get that pavilion built.
That's what I've been saying.
That's why
I've been saying it.
And it's 1,000% false. And what happened was, and this is just from my perspective, George is way more eloquently of a speaker than I am. He was supposed to be on the agenda at the last meeting, and it wasn't. And he wasn't able to be on the meeting. So he was the first up to speak at the end. Yes, he took 5 minutes from someone, thank God, because up next would have been Grandpa. But anyways, and all it was is to update the selectmen on the pavilion that they're building. And it's just a presentation. It has nothing to do with it. And I know I'm sure he's gotten a lot of flack for his actions. We never got in an argument, didn't get in a fight or anything. He just told me what he was going to do, and I just went my way. I don't think he was thinking that the two things intertwined. His decision on Canton Confidential and the Pavilion, but that's just my take on this whole thing.
And I don't think so.
I had a question for Rita.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no. George has the kindest heart of anyone in this town, and there's no ulterior motives.
So you made up.
Rita,
You guys
has there
made
been
up.
any update? No, we haven't talked yet. We're half Italian. We don't talk. Has anyone looked into an update on the signings, the alleged forgeries? Has the chief updated anyone on that?
Aware of, because she was supposed to kick it to the AG, like that's a priority for the AG.
Well,
no,
has it been kicked to the AG, or is this just going to quietly just go away?
It's going to quietly disappear. I mean, it was a nice splash.
Absolutely,
The
like
AG's
everything
not
else.
gonna do
It was a nice way to discredit us. Three people from the same family. I'm under the impression that one person eagerly signed for other two. Prove me wrong. Show us the evidence. But we still had 100 signatures, and what disappoints me the most is you had the police chief is a woman. You have 4 women that received threatening letters, so toxic we won't even publish. And what happened to that investigation? None. There was no investigation. Nothing.
No,
and
it's
why
been
was it
concluded.
Why was
nothing, burger?
Because FBI, I hope you're still in the queue. I hope you're still listening, because I don't see you scrolling anymore here with comments. But I believe that the language used, especially in the closing part of my letter, was very consistent with the language written in the same 24, 48 hours that Aiden's affidavit was written. And that affidavit was written by Chris Albert. And, the information that was in the threatening letter said that people were, it spoke about not trying
offering help.
Yeah,
election help.
Not over. I mean, it was clearly somebody who was in an elected official capacity who was feeling threatened that their position was going to get overthrown. Well, we have one person in an elected office who's in that position, and that's Chris Albert. And the letter went from I, we, it was changed. There were multiple authors, but all I'm saying is the language that was used in the affidavit against Aiden. The meeting was September 26th. The affidavit against Aiden was September 28th. The postmark on our letters was October 2nd, which was a Monday. And the language in Chris Albert's affidavit and the language in the threatening letter pretty much looked like the same. And it also said that somebody was reaching out. They were giving him campaign help. They were giving him money. They were giving him legal advice, and group meetings were
That's too many facts for them. That's too many facts for them to follow.
Well, it's
too many facts
too much
for
information.
the department to track down. They can't track down all that factual information. That's too complicated.
It's too much.
for them.
Too much work.
Oh, wait a minute.
Slow down.
Hold on,
slow
John.
down.
I did receive a private text today that somebody they said that they did contact the Board of Health on the cigarette thrower today.
Oh, terrific. Terrific. So maybe that will be a front page on the
So is it
Citizen.
going to be a front page story? Yeah, right, Rita? Is there going to be a lot of coverage?
Right. But if I can
It
say,
won't be on Canton Confidential.
no, that's in darkness.
Oh,
But it will be on Canton Community Voices.
People
I have to change the way I answer my phone all of a sudden now. I can't answer it that way anymore.
Yeah. And if I could just say one more thing about the letter, when I brought it into the police station, I did say I pretty much thought it was Chris Albert because, he was one of the authors, because they spoke about the campaign help and people giving money. And then he said, peaceful living is a privilege and desperate people do desperate things. And he also wrote peaceful living in his affidavit against Aiden. And so it's interesting too that his brother Kevin is a detective in the Canton Police Force, and their Helena has been very supportive of the witnesses in this case. So why would Kevin Albert want to investigate potentially his brother? And maybe she'll kick that.
Too much of a conflict. Yeah. There's just too many conflicts in town.
Too many.
That's it.
And for a woman not to take seriously and not to come out and visit us and not to send somebody out and follow up to make sure that we felt safe, that's a disgrace. That's a disgrace. And that is certainly not leadership. It's lack of leadership and lack of compassion.
And
Absolutely.
the crickets from our select board they've seen the letter.
That's correct.
And to have no comment at all come from the select board about the fact that
the select board has been advised by the district attorney not to say anything at all about anything.
Right.
And the question in the comments, yes, the United States Postal Service was informed. Yes.
Yes.
Rita?
Yes, they were informed. Yeah,
And
they were informed, but look, we know who sent the letter. So what do we need an investigation for? There's multiple authors. We know who the multiple authors are. We know at least a couple of them. We know Chris put his thumbprint on it by revealing too much about himself. We do know that.
Were there any pepperoni stains on the paper?
Yeah, I think there was some. I think there was some pizza dough. I think there was some pizza dough on mine, and maybe some ashes from Jim Ferris.
Did it smell like smoke?
It smelled like smoke. I don't know. I think he had his brother's phone number on the two for fast dial to the. Hey, there's some protesters. Send down 4 people. The town of Canton can afford it.
That's the most used bench in the town.
Huh?
That's the most used bench in all of the town.
Yeah.
By one guy.
By one guy.
By
and
one guy.
4 officers
Exactly.
down.
Yeah. I think Chris is going to put a little plaque on it. The Jim Ferris bench.
Jim Ferris bench.
He's like,
I think he's going to put a plaque with the middle finger. The Albert salute. Come here for the middle finger Albert salute. And he wonders why his business is hurting.
I want to
like
know has his business gotten any better since they charged Turtle Boy? Since Turtle Boy's gone silent on it, so
I
don't think so.
His business has been hurting for a long time.
Right.
For a long time, he just hasn't come forward and then he blames people like this. Don't take responsibility for their actions. They blame other people. I mean,
has there been any update on it? Has he paid his taxes in the last 2 weeks?
Yeah, well, that's probably going to be a big fat no.
Probably not. So if we do see him out at the bar, he's paying for our first round.
That's probably a no.
Good luck on that. Good luck on that.
Well, he'll have the cash.
Yes, but he might smash the bottle over our head, and I don't know.
We got a question for you, John. People are asking about the secret meeting last week. Do you know anything else further about this secret meeting that they had last week?
I know Grandpa led the meeting.
Grandpa led the meeting?
He led the meeting.
Oh my God. They should have recorded that. That could have been sold.
And one of the select board members, Mike Loughran, was in attendance at the meeting.
Minimum.
I know. I don't know if I'm at liberty to say, but I do know that. Well, I'm going to say it. I know that Jillian Daniels was not too happy with some people there that weren't inside the building.
Me, I took pictures.
What do you mean?
In my socks. In my socks.
Yeah, that was, I woke up the next morning to a text that said, Why didn't Rita have shoes?
So the backstory on that is there were flyers that they put out. They were going to have it at the waterfall, which I thought was a killer spot. And then
Killer.
then they turned around and changed it. But the flyer said that it was a special town election. And this is how riled up they are. It's
An
not
election. It's a town meeting. Yeah.
It's a town meeting. So then I got word that it had been moved to the town club. And I really wasn't sure if that was real or not. And so I drove to the town club, and there were like at least 50 cars in the parking lot, and there's people outside. And it looked like they were leaving, but I think they were just out there smoking. It looked like somebody had a clipboard. And so my fiance is driving his sports car, and he's like tippy-toeing with the car. And I'm like, drive. And then I'm going like this with my face and this with the camera. Because I really didn't care if they saw me. And they did see me. They did see me. They probably had a security camera, and they probably had one of their dispatchers run my fiance's plate. But they'll say that, you know, they saw me. I don't know how they saw me. I covered my face. But it was, you know, it's my understanding it was an all hands on deck meeting. And it was a strategy meeting to take down the good citizens of Canton who are advocating for truth, justice, and transparency, and to create campaigns to smear us and also get out disinformation and scare people, which we've already seen on Facebook. And so all we're doing is being who we are, and we are presenting facts. And every time people say, well, they did this and they did, there's no evidence. Where is it? They say, oh, we got our cameras ready. I'm all for it. Right. Show us the evidence that people who get disrespectful. It doesn't exist.
The meeting got over around 9:30ish, 10, and there was no after party at Fairview. Just giving you a heads up on that. So all bodies are accounted for.
Yes. But I heard they had red teal glass in their drinks.
Yeah, they had red Solo cups. They didn't want to use. They didn't want to use the town club's fine china, so they all used red Solo cups.
Yeah.
It wasn't that big. It wasn't that great of a party then.
No.
It was kind of it wasn't really one of the memorable ones.
Yeah,
it's amazing how many are members, how many of are members and or on the board at the town club.
Yeah, it really is amazing. It really is amazing, you know. And you know, this is all we wanted. You know, all we wanted was to meet with them, and they had a meeting without us, only with people who agree with them, or who are persuadables, and that they could persuade them. So. You know, we were not invited, and, you know, it really hurt my feelings because this is what we wanted to do. We wanted to sit down with them. We wanted to talk. Yeah. Well, maybe it didn't hurt my feelings too much. It wasn't very kind. It wasn't.
They should do the 15 minutes. They should do the 15 minutes of talking at tomorrow night's meeting first, and start up with Grandpa where we left off last, so at least we have an idea of what he wants to tell us.
Oh, he's going to suck up the whole time. Him and Paul are going to, you know, they're going to take the air out of our whatever we can say. You know, they're fillers. They're fillers.
Yeah,
they're not going to say anything. Grandpa's going to go, oh, like keyboarding. You know, it was so frightening when he said that night. We all looked at him like, what are you talking about? Where are the ones that are bullying behind the keyboard? It's you.
Oh, I mean, what a freak that guy is. Honestly, what a freaky guy.
Well, thank you for letting me call in.
Thank you so much, Sean.
Some other one. Bye, guys.
Have a good night.
Oh, Rita,
yes.
Rita, can you give me one? Can you give us one of those expireds?
What do you mean expired?
He wants you to say it, Rita. Say it.
You gotta go.
Items in the refrigerator.
Oh, I know. Yeah. John Conley and Chris Albert, they're past their expiration date. Gotta go.
Gotta go. That's it. You gotta go.
Past the expiration date.
Gotta go. You're expired, John.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
We've had some good laughs today, haven't we?
Yeah,
We
yeah,
have.
yeah.
I mean, you gotta laugh at the shit.
Right.
Yeah, we have to laugh because otherwise we'd cry.
Right.
Yeah. Maureen,
you know-
yeah, we get a comment. She says, "I'm surprised they didn't serve drinks and evidence bags."
Yeah.
Or maybe, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's really, it's really something else, really. I mean, we're laughing about it, but, we really need people. We need so many people to join Canton Community Voices. If you know somebody that lives in Canton, if you have any connection, we need them at the special town meeting. It's a tight schedule. We're trying to get in and out. We're respectful of people's times, that it's Thanksgiving week. We had no choice. This is what it had to be that night. I frankly don't see any reason it can't get over in a night. They have complained that if it goes to multiple nights, there could be financial, consequences for interest on the money. Well, then join us in making it be a quick meeting and get to the point and move on.
Yeah. None of us wants to cause financial problems for the town. We all live here.
I think that I have a feeling this is a block number. Bert, is this Bert? Who is this? Oh, it's Bert. Who are you?
Hello.
What's up, Bert? See, total wimp.
Oh,
ballless,
Bert.
ballless.
At least he had John back with his
Did you hear
chicken
that?
costume.
So he's like, oh.
Bert, I have something. Bert, I have a message for you.
He tells me to stay strong. You just, you just went, oh.
Yeah.
Bert.
Come on, Bert, front and center.
Thanks, Mick. That was a mental picture I just didn't need tonight.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. I hope good luck on your campaign, Jennifer.
All right, guys, I'm gonna go check.
You gotta
and see
go
what's
now.
happening
You
with
Jennifer's
my
like, I gotta go before I can't run for office anymore.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and we have some great candidates. I'm glad you said that.
Thank you,
because
Jennifer.
We have some great Jennifer, I'll talk to you later.
Yeah.
I'll see you tomorrow night.
You know,
Yes.
have a good night, Jennifer.
Bye-bye.
We have some great candidates, I hear, for the upcoming election. So I don't want people to be fearful, because when one door closes, another one opens. And that's what happened with Canton Confidential. We now have this new page, and we're inviting everybody in because we want to get the dialogue going. That's a good thing. And we have really good candidates that are going to be running for office. So people will have a choice. And so, the powers to be are making it seem like, oh my God, we're going to have no leadership. Well, we have no leadership now anyways. So
Right? What leadership do you have right now?
really,
Like, seriously.
we have no leadership right now as it is, so, and I say that, and I'm, I laugh, but I'm sad. I'm really sad because it's not what I want to see. We've tried to work with them. We've tried to help, and silence and, and sitting there with no compassion and no response is intolerable. And so something has to change.
I hope so.
Yes.
Let's hope it does. And let's hope that Bert gets beyond just, like you just couldn't handle it. You could not handle it. It was just so funny.
Yeah.
Bert, call in. I know you can make it more than 5 seconds next time.
Yeah. Come on, Bert. Come on, you
Bert.
Can go face-to-face
Let's get to 30 seconds, guy. Come on. We got a phone number, Bert. Come on. You know the phone number. Don't be a whip. 978-560-3155. So we just had a comment that Alberts will be ballot harvesting. Are you worried about any shenanigans, any ballot shenanigans that could happen?
So I know there's been things I'm not fully up to date on. We wanted a secret ballot, and of course, that was poo-pooed because they want to be able to intimidate. I mean, if they know who's voting, then they know. I mean, they're already calling people now, from what I understand, and with scare tactics. And women get threatening letters. People are scared to voice their truths. You need a secret ballot. We just did this in Congress. They did it with the speaker. They did secret ballots to protect people. When they didn't do secret ballots, look what happened to, and I don't know their names, but I think some of the people who didn't vote for Jim Jordan got threatening phone calls.
Right.
What's that all about? That's not American. And so they went back to secret ballots. We need secret ballots too, to protect people so that people don't feel intimidated and they can vote. And there has been a big push not to get it, but we also have the Finance Committee supporting it. And we have tried proactively. We are trying proactively to get it in place and call it a day, because it will extend the vote, I think, by 36 hours if it happens reactively. And I don't think anybody in the town office, the town hall, would want to be working Thanksgiving week.
Yeah, I'll also say something too is they should be careful what they wish for too, because
Oh yeah,
it won't just be one side looking to see who voted which way.
Yeah,
And if it turns out you're very wrong in this later,
right.
I think some of these people need to realize that history, you may think you're safe right now with your little crew around you, but things could change in a year or 2 or 3 or 5 or 10, and people are going to remember. So I'd be careful what you wish for in terms of, you want a public vote?
Right.
You think that will benefit you? Maybe it won't actually benefit you. Maybe that will be used against you later.
Right.
Because you back some people who are totally corrupt and scandalous.
Yeah.
So,
We are where we are because they refuse to meet with us. We did not ask to speak about John O'Keefe's murder investigation. We asked for other things, and they wouldn't answer. They won't even, if we ask them, what's the weather today? They won't even answer that because they don't have to. And we had no choice. If we wanted, we were either going to do nothing and be silenced and wait. There's no reason to wait for Karen Reed to go to trial. There is no evidence.
I got
And
this guy. He's
there's
back.
no evidence.
The Boston FBI guy is back. He's funny.
Oh, what does he say?
I put him on timeout. He's saying the special town meeting is on April 4th.
The election is April 2nd.
Oh, is that
Again, misinformation.
He
FBI
says
fugitive.
election for the Canton Select Board meeting.
No, it isn't April 2nd. It isn't April 4th. It's April 2nd.
Oh, there we go. I think here he comes. He's going to try to get 6
What's he
seconds.
saying?
Oh, he already hung up. That was
April 2nd. Yeah. FBI Fugi. I'm going to call you Fugi. Fugi. He must be Bert's cousin. He's got the wrong date. Will you guys stop?
Oh, he's asking about the election. He's being serious now. We thought he was a joker, but I don't know.
No, he was okay. The election is April 2nd. So FBI, come on. You don't even have my right area code, and you don't even have the right date of the election. So if you're going to join this podcast, please join it and share accurate information. Then we'll have a great
Because
dialogue.
Rita will get mad at you. And Bert, if you're going to call in, try to hang for more than a second, dude. Like,
Yeah,
seriously.
bro, it's not that scary. It's not that
Very
scary.
quick,
I gotta tell you,
very quick.
right. As long as you have facts, Bert, it's cake.
Hey, Jennifer, I think I put off Jennifer with my little joke. I'm still laughing about that. I want to watch back at it.
Yeah.
Rita, you don't care. You're just like, whatever. Oh, man.
Oh.
I seriously, I would love Bert to finish the show. Come on, finish us off, Bert. Totally destroy us. Come on.
That's all right. Bert's never going to call.
No, Bert's got
No,
no.
Bert's not going to call because Bert's probably not really a guy. And,
His name's probably Chris Albert.
right. But let me just say this, too. I mean, I might have said this earlier at the show, but I'd like to say it again. People are coming to us and people are supporting us. And this is bringing out so much love and support. And people are finding their voices. We just have to keep spreading the word and helping more and more people find their voices. And raise your voices for truth and justice. Raise them. There's strength in numbers, and it is really it's surreal when people find their courage and they come out and they say that we inspire them. They inspire us. Keep it going. Keep it going, because there are way more good people in this country than there are bad, and that's in the world.
Thank you, Rita.
Scott.
Yeah, well, you got a lot of comments. They love you. The audience listening definitely loves you.
Well, I love the audience too. I mean, we need each other.
Yeah, we do. So tomorrow night, we'll be definitely broadcasting. People have been asking, as long as the Canton Cable is broadcasting it, we'll be rebroadcasting definitely.
Oh, good.
We'll be doing the same on the 20th. No, just broadcasting. That's the thing. I gotta choose one or the other. You know what I mean?
I see.
So it's like I almost feel like I have to broadcast now. Like I would love to go to Canton one of these nights, but
no, it's okay.
Then I can't broadcast it. So
right, no, broadcast. Go ahead, broadcast.
Yeah.
We're just gonna sit there. And,
Plus, what am I gonna do? I'm an out of towner.
Yeah, we
they're gonna
got
look at me like
minutes. We go there for 15 minutes. They think we're not going to show. We are going to show. We are going to show and continue to present the way we present, because that's who we are. We are good Americans and want the best for our the future of this country, the future for our children. We're fighting for our children. And there's one more thing too. I know Kathleen wanted me to mention this because, my kids are grown, but people with young children, whatever it takes, we need at least one of you at that special town meeting on that Monday of Thanksgiving week. We need at least one of you. This is too important. And more information will be coming out to better explain the warrants so that people understand what they will be voting on. But we need everyone there. And, we need everybody there.
I hope everyone shows up November
I do
20th.
too. I think they will. We just have to get the word out, because there's still a lot of people, Mike, that don't know
Exactly.
about this.
How are you getting the word out right now? I mean, like what, beyond the Facebook group, the Canton Community Voices, people need to join that new group. What other ways? Are there other ways you're trying to get the word out? Yeah.
Word of mouth. People that are in the know are spreading the word. People there, they are spreading the word. And, I'm cautious to say anything more because, people may try to shut down that avenue. But, the best way is word of mouth. We're getting it out through the group and the Canton Community Voices, that new Facebook group that we just put up. We are that says 2,300 members. I think we're up to 2,500 members, and we're looking to grow that every single day, because the more we grow it, the more that word gets out there and we get a groundswell. And that's what we're looking for. And it's across the country. People are reaching out to me from all over. And it's not just me, it's other people too. People want to help. I forgot something. I have to tell you, there's a email address that for people who want to help us and volunteer. There is a email address, and I might have to step into the other room to get it. Can I just step out for 1 second?
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's really critical.
And I'll let people know that we are collecting donations tonight. 50% of the proceeds to the Young Jerks, myself, 50% gets split between the Turtle Boy Defense Fund and the Karen Reed Defense Fund. And you can do that through the Cash App, Mike Crawford 1, or on Venmo, Mike Crawford TYJ. A little background noise. I don't know if anyone else hears that.
All right, Kathleen's gonna kill me. It's so. Maybe it's in my notes. Hold on.
I'm getting a little background noise. I'm trying to see if it's you. I don't know what it is.
It's probably me.
I don't think it is, actually. I think it's my system's acting weird again.
So
This happened before.
anyone that wants to help us, and we'll take all the help. We've got 2 weeks to the special town meeting. It's 2 weeks from tonight. And anyone that wants to help us, if they can send an email to Canton Special Town Meeting at gmail.com. That's Canton Special Town Meeting at gmail.com. Send us your name, your cell phone number, and we will be in touch with you because we need your help. And people have reached out, so we are grateful.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rita, for being here tonight. I know we were only supposed to be a few minutes, but we've kept you a little later.
Mike, thank you as always. It's always a pleasure being on your show. Great job, and I love it. Don't
You
feed
too.
the trolls.
I'll be watching tomorrow, and good luck on everything. Thank you so much for everything you're doing, Rita.
Thank you. All right. Have a good night.
You too. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye now. And again, we're the Young Jerks. We're collecting money again for the Turtle Boy Defense Fund and the Karen Reed Defense Fund. I did see some donations come in. I just want to read off what came in tonight. Mike Haverty. Awesome. He sent $50. I think that's his first donation. He says, I love the First Amendment. Thank you, Mike. Blake Nelson. Nope, actually, that's someone else. I'm reading off, the public, your friends country. Oh, okay, here's the right one. So Mike Haverty sent us $50. We got $20 from Laurie B. $20 from Mike Wilson, Boston Mike. And that's it on the cash. No, that's Venmo. That's 90 so far. And on the Cash App, let's see if we got any on there. None on the Cash App tonight. So we raised $90. That's 45, and then divide that by 2, and then half of that goes to each fund. I want to thank everyone for supporting us. Again, if you're listening later, I know a lot of times people listen on the late shift or the replay. You can still contribute. We're going to collect money today, tomorrow, throughout the rest of the week. So any money you contribute this week, we'll be kicking it down to the fund. So thank you so much for supporting our show. Somebody said something's a fake Lindsay account. I'm not sure what's going on there, but just reading some of the comments in the background. But there was something else I want to say, and I don't even know what it was. I lost my train of thought. But, I think the big thing is I just think that we need all to keep standing up. Don't be afraid of these clowns. I know I'm not afraid of them. Oh, yeah. You know what, too? The other thing, if you did give a donation tonight, I forgot. Thank you so much for reminding me, Probot. Probot said, I will send you something Wednesday for the thanks for the Young Jerk stickers. That's one thing we've been doing lately. If you send us a contribution, we will also send you some bumper stickers if you want. You just send over your address when you make the contribution. And if you forget, you can always put a comment there, or you can contact us on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter at the Young Jerks. I got a phone call. Who's on the phone right now?
It's Gabe Boy.
Oh, this is Bert. You're a little wimp. You're a little wimp, aren't you?
Where's that?
You just blow it all over yourself?
Huh?
You just blow it all over yourself?
Let's not fuck it up.
You just blow it all over yourself?
I'm gonna blow over you.
Yeah, that's what I thought. You're a little baby, man. What's wrong with you? You got a turtle fetish?
No, I'm not.
You got a turtle fetish?
What's that?
You got a turtle fetish?
No.
You're someone who wastes your life being upset about someone made fun of you on the internet. You're a little baby, right?
No. Why would you be talking to a baby?
Oh, I can tell. I can tell.
Pedophile.
What is it? Oh, yeah. That's what we're dealing with. Turtle hair fetish. Exactly. He's like, bah, 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 bah. Dude, if you're going to do a troll call, at least, we got to be able to understand what you're even saying. Bah, 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 pedophile. Are they making up new accounts? This is so funny. Voice changing apps, yeah. They're such wimps. I know. It's like, yeah, whatever. Maybe it was Colin. Yeah, maybe it was Colin. So, anyways, we're the Young Jerks. I want to thank everyone for supporting us. I think another contribution came in while we got that troll call. See, that's what I love about the trolls. All they do is inspire more people to kick in money, show more support. No, actually, I didn't. I thought more money came in. I guess not, but oh yeah, we got another $20 from Joanne. So there you go, troll. You kept it going, so we got more money. Turtle Boy's got a comment. He said these idiots have been exposing a woman named Lindsay who was at the Halloween party, except it's a different Lindsay. They're mocking the wrong person. It sounds like Riccio, something Riccio would do. He's so stupid. I wonder why he needs a kidney. Because nobody will give him one. Like Probot writes, free the mushroom man. That was one of our posts on our Facebook after this guy got busted for mushrooms this week. We actually stole that one. I told the dude I was going to steal his comment. It was hilarious. Free the mushroom man. Totally think we should free him. Here it is. Lauren writes, Brian needs a kidney, but no one loves him. Another call says, Mike, you just sounded like Colin Albert. I don't know if I did that on purpose. Who's on the phone?
Forget.
Oh, it's you again.
Forget. Thank you.
I got your number now. Let's call him back. Let's see if this guy's probably using a spoofed number, but I just want to try him out. Hopefully I'm not waking up somebody that got their number spoofed. Oh, you got the turtle fetish.
What are you saying? It's a voice. What are you going to do with it?
It's a what? It's a voice?
It's a voice. What are you going to do with the voice?
Oh, so you're worried that I'm going to find out who you are? Why are you afraid?
I'm not. What?
You just said, oh, it's a VoIP.
I'm calling from the UK. I'm not going to call you.
Why would you be afraid? Why would you be afraid?
Afraid of what?
I'm asking you, why would you be afraid? You said it's a VoIP. Why would you be afraid that I know who you are?
You're calling me back as if it's meant to scare me or something. What are you doing?
Why would you be afraid?
I never said I was.
Why are you using a VoIP then?
What are you doing? What are you calling me back for? What are you calling me for? I'm trying to see you masturbating.
No, you're the guy that loses it in 1 second. You couldn't even handle it.
What?
So anyways, we got someone who says they can track a VoIP.
Okay, yeah, go on then. This VoIP.
Yeah?
Put the number, put my number out.
We'll find out. I mean, yeah.
It's a Wisconsin number.
Actually, I'm not going to put it out. I'm going to send it to my people. I'm not going to do something stupid right now.
Go on. Do that, quick.
Yeah. Is this maybe this is Colin?
Huh? Colin? What?
You know a kid named Colin? Maybe it's Chris himself.
No.
You got a little voice changer?
Not Chris. Come on.
Who are you? I mean, tell us how pathetic your life is that you're so upset that you're calling my show to troll me. Like, tell us a story. Like, what did Turtle Boy do to you?
Morning, yeah.
Did Turtle Boy like really beat you up? Like, what happened? Did he steal your lunch money?
No.
What happened?
No. I've been out of school for quite a few years.
You what?
Unlike him, who still hangs around.
Why can't you
school.
speak up? Why are you so silent? You're such a wimp. Speak up.
Silent? What are you saying?
I want to know what Turtle Boy did to you. Why are you so upset with Turtle Boy?
He touched my anus.
No,
I was 4 years
you're
old.
such a loser, dude. This is what we got going on. No balls, any of them. Now we got his number though, so that's fun. Who was the person that said they had the VoIP? They can track the VoIP. I want to make sure they get this number. We got his number. All right, we're the Young Jerks. I want to thank everyone for supporting us tonight, including the trolls. Still calling me. Oh no, did I expose his number? The troll who keeps calling over and over again. That might be harassment, right? If you keep calling somebody. All right, I'm going to head out tonight. I'm not sure when we'll be back, but I want to thank everyone for listening, supporting, following the show, especially the contributions. And I also want to thank the trolls. And I want to thank Bert for just losing it a couple times. I don't know what's wrong with this guy. Why don't they speak up? Why are they like, buh, 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 buh? More than 3 times? Yeah, I think he called more than 3 times. But I did take some of his calls. But I want to know who is the VoIP expert, because I want to look this guy up. We'll be looking him up. So it's a good idea ending the show. Can we talk about twisted tragedies? I don't think so. I think we're going to call it a night. I will see everyone next time. Young Jerks, check it out. Thank you so much.